What is the seal of God? The Bible prophesies that great disasters will come upon the earth. In Malachi chapter 4 verse 1, it is written,
"Surely the day is coming, it will burn like a furnace. All the arrogant and every evildoer will be stubble."
2 Peter chapter 3 verse 7 reads,
"The present heavens and earth are reserved for fire, being kept for the day of judgment and destruction."
When the alarming news comes, the news of salvation too surely comes. God made known in the Bible the message of salvation, through which we can be saved from the disasters. One of the messages of salvation that we must know is the seal of God. In Revelation chapter 7 verse 2, it is written,
"Having the seal of the living God. Do not harm the land or the sea or the trees until we put a seal on the foreheads of the servants of our God."
In Revelation chapter 9 verse 4, it says,
"Not to harm, but only those people who did not have the seal of God on their foreheads."
It is prophesied that the land, the sea, or the trees would be harmed by the last disaster. It is also prophesied that those who have the seal of God will be excluded from the harm. Therefore, we must receive the seal of God before the last disaster comes. How can we receive the seal of God? In John chapter 6 verse 27, it is written,
"On him God the Father has placed his seal of approval."
Him here refers to Jesus. It means that Jesus has the seal of God. If we become one body with Jesus, who is the seal of God, we can receive the seal of God. Then how can we become one body with Jesus? In John chapter 6 verse 56, it is written,
"Whoever eats my flesh and drinks my blood remains in me, and I in him."
In summary, Jesus has the seal of God, and whoever eats Jesus' flesh and drinks his blood becomes one body with Jesus. Ultimately, the way to receive the seal of God is to eat Jesus' flesh and drink his blood. How can we eat Jesus' flesh and drink his blood? In Luke chapter 22 verse 15, it reads,
"I have eagerly desired to eat this Passover with you." And he took bread, gave thanks. "This is my body. This cup is the new covenant in my blood."
Jesus celebrated the Passover of the new covenant with his disciples the night before he suffered on the cross. What did he refer to the Passover bread as? Jesus said, "This is my body." What about the Passover wine? Jesus said, "This is my blood." We can eat Jesus' flesh and drink his blood through the Passover bread and wine. This means that only when we keep the Passover can we become one body with Jesus and receive the seal of God. When we keep the Passover, we can receive God's seal and get salvation from disasters. Can we really be saved from disasters when we keep the Passover? Let's find out through the history recorded in the Bible. In Exodus chapter 12, verse 11, it reads,
"It is the Lord's Passover. No destructive plague will touch you. For the generations to come, you shall celebrate it as a festival to the Lord, a lasting ordinance."
He promised that if we keep the Passover, disasters will pass over us. The Passover is God's feast through which disasters pass over. The Passover is surely the seal of God through which disasters pass over. Let us keep the new covenant Passover, the seal of God, and be saved from disaster.